Welcome back, everyone. I know. It's been a minute. It's 2021. And thank you so much for just sticking through with us, letting us figure this out.
Facts.
Every time we've came to you, it's like, ooh, new podcast, same one, but like we're just like doing this with it. So we're going to hold your hand through this process and guide you through some of our new changes. And we hope you love it. And we're just genuinely happy to share this with you guys. So without further ado, we are your hosts, Keza Queens. I'm Tina. This is Lady Grace K.
Hey guys, I missed you so much.
We are here to give you a genuine, honest, true to ourselves, with the times and with the vibes episode. Let's get into it. First things first, on this podcast, we have a segment. It's called Keza Ketchup.
Yeah.
And it's basically just, think of it as me and Grace FaceTiming each other, and y'all get to secretly, listen in on what we got to say. So take it away, Lady Grace K. What's your catch-up?
Oh my God. First of all, this is an edited FaceTime because Lord knows what really happens on our FaceTimes.
We're going to have to get a Patreon first.
I got to pay for real one. Lord have mercy, God. Like, where do I even fucking start? So I'm going to be looking down because my phone is right here. So since y'all have last heard from me, number one, I took a whole fucking 2-week trip to the motherland. I went back home for 2 weeks with my sisters, and that shit was incredible. When I tell y'all, all I did was eat, sleep, drink Mutzing, which is the beer there. It's like a German beer. That was by far probably one of the best trips I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow.
And that for sure. And I think also it's because like we're connected to it, I'm sure when I go to Jamaica or if I go to Mexico, like those trips will be dope too. But just seeing people that look like you, that like speak a language that you've been hearing since you came out the womb and been eating like real food. Everywhere you go is real food. I didn't have to go to Whole Foods to get organic shit. I didn't have to go to the supermarket or everything is real.
I know them fruits was bussin'.
Bitch, I used to be a big meat eater, not so much anymore, but when I was there, give me all the meat. The bruschettes, bitch, you can't even, it doesn't make, imagine, because you've had meat from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Multiply that, let me be realistic, multiply that by like 10. Just the tenderness,
you know what I'm saying,
and the juiciness, and the flavor. And by the way, in Rwanda, the men cook.
Hey,
so like the maids in the house were men, so they cooked, and I was like,
that's lit.
Now I know y'all not in here throwing the fuck down. So the men cook. Like, I went during a panty, so I didn't get to like experience like the nightlife as much as I wanted to, but I'll be back again. I definitely want to make that like either a yearly thing for me or every other year thing for me, because it was just so refreshing to be around like your people. You know what I'm saying? Not that like I don't feel that here, but it was just deeper. But anyways, during this break, I really wanted to utilize it and work on the shit that I wanted to work on. And some of the stuff that I feel like I really improved on is, number one, self-love, bitch. Let me tell you something.
It's the hand on the hip for me.
Let me tell you something. This whole self-love thing, like once you get to a place where you're like, okay, yeah, I think I love myself, like I'm good with it. But once you have to put that shit in effect, you got to practice that shit. It's the hardest thing ever. And it comes in so many different forms. Like it could be you having to let go of somebody because they're not good for you. It could be you not eating a certain thing because your body reacts to it. It comes in like so many different forms. And I said, God, I know you're not up there. I know you're not up there testing me.
Right.
So yeah, but needless to say, I feel like I've passed the test that were given to me. Yeah, because it involved other people, and I just feel like I handled myself pretty well. And I let it be known that, hey, my nigga, I love me. So regardless if you don't care or love me, but I love me. So
yeah, we love people. So like, a lot of people can't relate to, they be like, let it go. But like, you and Grace are we're just that saying, like, everyone comes into your life for a reason. Like, we held on to reasons. Okay, you were in here for a reason.
Yeah.
So when you come from that standpoint, like, this is a challenge, and so you overcame it though.
And it's like, we value connection. So if I make a connection with you, whether that be a friend or just anybody, like, I'm like, wow, like that person, like, I want to know more and I want to understand why you are the way you are. But like, there has to be a line. Like, it can't be a one-sided thing. So the art of letting go, I'm definitely there. And I'll say one last thing. I'm new to this whole I can't even say the word.
Vulnerable. There's this guy who says it wrong on purpose.
Vulnerability. You know, I'm new to this whole vulnerability. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm new to that whole being vulnerable game because I feel like I have just been to myself for so long. And like, when I say the art of letting go, this is real for me. Like, if I feel like you do not are not benefiting my situation mentally, spiritually, physically, in any way, shape, or form, I do this, and my block button has served me well. Block. And I've had you guys ask me, like, bitch, how you be blocking folks like that? And it's just, I have to do it for my own sanity and like healing. But recently I couldn't do that. I had to actually approach the situation and be vulnerable and tell this person like how they made me feel. Bitch, that shit was liberating. They still got blocked, but it was liberating to just know, like, okay, now that you no longer have contact, at least you know, like, where I stand. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be blocking people and then I'll run into them and be like, hey, what's up? And they're like, bitch, do you even like me? It was a trying time. But this whole being able to tell people how you feel and then moving on is very liberating. So just an update on that. But yeah, guys, that's what I've been learning. That's what I've been learning on this break. And so far, I feel good. I'm not perfect. You know, I have my days, but spiritually, so far, so good, bitch. What's been happening with you? I feel like that was a long ass tangent.
I mean, you went on a really meaningful vacation, so yeah, it's understandable. For me, during the break, I realized that I have a lot of things I need to work on. And as it pertains to the podcast, I don't think I can really involve you guys too much, maybe how I did because what was messing me up is I would say an intention on here and then come back and either not have an update on it or never even went through with that intention. So my work was just finding ways to share like my catch-ups that don't have to do with day in and day outs and what benchmarks I met or didn't meet. So creating a boundary, so to speak, with what my heart's desires are and try until I can figure it out for myself for sure. That way I have some level of consistency with myself and accountability there. So in general, during the time in the break, I realized that a lot of the reasons why I was unhappy was because I was getting too comfortable. I quit my second job working at Starbucks like 2 years ago because I realized that I was working very hard, but it didn't give me time to think about things. So while I was having fun, I was thinking about things. I would come home and think about things, but like it was juggling the fun and the thoughts. And then after we took the break, I didn't really socialize much. So I had time with my thoughts and I'm like, oh, okay, like my break needed to happen, but it overstayed its visit. So I need to go back, under grind time. And that's a lot of where my inconsistency was coming from, was because I was trying to be comfortable and have fun and achieve a new level of myself. And grind. Yeah, like they can't serve two masters. So what I can share is that, I'm no longer the social butterfly that I once was in terms of what I give my time to. I'm finding new ways to have fun, like getting boba. It's like this Asian latte thing. It's like my favorite pastime to do on Sundays. If anybody wants to just link with me for 10 minutes to buy the boba and then go home, that's what I have time for. Like I'm that type of friend now. Like, hey, you want to go get some food? And we both stare at each other and then like talk about what we're gonna order and then both go home. Like that's the type of social life I can have. You know what I'm saying? And then just go home and work on all the things that I'm gonna have tunnel vision on. And I honestly, because I'm working on it, it's going to be so much fun to share it with you when it's done. No more. I can't do mid-process. Sorry, guys. Working on myself. And I used it sounds very like social media influencer. Hey, guys, I'm working on something, but I can tell you.
It's going to be great. And
clearly, I tried the other way. It didn't work.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been thinking about. Just, and like Grace said, the self-love. So just, taking care of myself and realizing that, because while we took the break, I also stopped talking to guys. So that really helped my self-love, because you know what I realized? Everything I wanted in them is what I wanted for myself. When you talk about finance, I want men that are financially like stable. That means I want that.
Yep, exactly.
And I don't care if that means, okay, fine, they'll find me that way and they need to have it too, but I know what it looks like. Sometimes you can't be asking for things and you only know what it looks like on somebody else, but you don't know what it looks like on you. So I wanted that. I want men that smell good. I'm collecting perfume. I need to invest in that. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, guys, a man could be nothing and he smells like $1,000,000. I'm sold. Very bad trait. If I just walked around smelling like the thing that I like, it's not new to me. Like, I'm not new to this.
Of attraction.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah. So just being that type of person. And I also saw this video and it was like the things that what is it? I don't know how to explain it, but your love language is the same thing that you fail at. So if you like acts of service, you may have some issues in your life where you're not service. Like, for instance, I'm very bad right now with my upkeep of my house and priorities and the things I need to do. And I'm out here looking for people for acts of service to serve me that way when I need to serve myself that way. So just certain things like that. And honestly, you need all 5 love languages, right? But it's about how you prioritize each one.
Best receive it. Yeah.
Like if you're physical touch, like you're expecting everybody to love on you and touch on you, but like you don't go and take massages. You don't, take care of your skin or like just touch yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it because physical touch is not my arena. I'm not the one who should be speaking on that, but an easy one would be affirmations. You talk to yourself like shit. But then you want everybody to be like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're the best person ever. Like, you have to give yourself the love that you're also seeking from others.
That's a fucking Fendi. That's a Fendi. That is my whole thing with that was like, I was looking for a peaceful person. And I said, well, how can I just be peaceful?
Period.
Let me operate in my peace. And then, yeah, that's a Fendi. Out here preaching.
It's levels to this. Listen, I had time to think.
Wow.
Because when you work 2 jobs, you're literally you're doing this. And while I was great in those moments, like, I had a lot of priorities together. And that's normally what happens when you have a routine like that, that's so boxed in. Yeah, sometimes like every 2 years or every so often, whenever you're in a phase in your life, you need to sit down and be like, what the fuck are we doing? Even when it's having fun. Yeah, like when it's having fun, you got to stop and be like, what are we doing? When you're grinding so much, you got to stop and be like, where am I? Because I was working 2 jobs, but going nowhere. I was getting money, extra money, but like it wasn't doing for me what I needed to do. So I'm proud of my decision to stop. And I'm also like, I also need to be aware of that next phase of comfortability. Like, bitch, we've been relaxing. You're relaxed, so let's do the next step.
Let's step it up. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is so different from us telling them how we used to party.
No, listen, we are going to party, but it's like you have to be there's a season for everything. Winter isn't 12 months.
Facts.
So,
and I don't want to be partying and then the next day be like, oh my God, like I didn't get that thing done that I wanted to get done, or I didn't study for that thing. Like that feeling is the worst feeling ever. Like knowing you just went out and fucked shit up and then you come back and you didn't do what you said you were going to do, like really sucks. It really sucks. Yeah. Maybe with the older you get, you're just like, now, you know, you could have took 2 hours out of your day to complete whatever task you wanted to complete.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a phase. We had fun. We needed it. Trust, if we could ever have a day to talk about what happened in 2016 and 2017.
Oh my God.
It's literally why this whole podcast has even started. We'll talk about it. But so we deserve to shake rooms.
Which we had a good run. But I was telling my cousin, like, the fun that we're about to experience is going to be just as great. It's just going to be different. Like,
period.
Nigga, can we have fun and somebody get the section and not break the bank next week? Whatever we want to do, vacation, whatever we want to do. But there is a period of grinding. So,
period. So, guys, don't be afraid of change. It's a part of life. Everything is a phase. That's why you can't hold on to things. You just gotta be like water. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
That's my favorite shit to do. That's my favorite shit to do.
It's about time, y'all. Those of you that are new, it's about time is where we talk about whatever we want to talk about that's current or on our minds, and just it's a vibe to just have some discourse or be like, this is what I think about this thing. It's about time. Period. So it's about time we talk about the Grammys. First things first. Quick thoughts.
Okay. I didn't watch the Grammys. I was one of those people that just watched the clips.
Oh, for sure. Same.
But the past few Grammys I wasn't excited to watch, but I was a little excited to watch this one, but I just missed it. Quick thoughts. Africa were up. Shout out to Burna Boy. Boop, 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 boop. That was a huge moment. And I really appreciated him just saying this is for all of us.
Yeah, for sure.
We not Nigerians, but God knows how many times we played Nigerian music. Atlanta is full of Nigerian clubs. Like, Niger definitely took over Atlanta for sure. Like, Africans took the fuck over Atlanta. Like, the nightlife is insane. So that made me feel so good. I was like, he included that in that shit. And what else? I was really happy for Meg Thee Stallion. I feel like she had a pretty rough year. Yeah. And I like her with Party. I don't know. Like, I like what she was posting about, like, what'd she say? I'm gonna give him this Grammy Award winning kitty. Purr. I said, that's a caption. No, I was really happy for her. I feel like she had a rough year. We all know about it. And I just know, like, if something bad happens to you or something inconvenient happens to you like that, and then you get like something good, like how good that could feel.
Yeah. You could tell by her face. Because surely everybody thought it was Doja who's gonna take it. I feel like that's why her face was like,
Doja had a good year, I heard too.
Yeah. So she was just like, oh.
And then for her to be on stage with Lady Beyonce. Beyonce, first of all, I think she showed up late. Hilarious.
Period.
Hilarious. And I like that her gloves were attached to her dress. I said, bitch, that's how you wear an outfit.
Okay.
I don't know if her gloves were actually attached or how she got into it. She looked amazing. It was Jay-Z's face for me. I felt like Jay-Z was just like, I'm here to just support my wife.
That's what everybody was saying. It was giving very much.
I noticed.
It was giving very much, because we boycotted y'all last year, or very much, I'm going to talk to the, everybody in charge, make sure they're not capping, because you know how they like to do it on the TV and cause a hoopla.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he was just like, all right, show me the receipts when,
like, let's do this. Apparently, Beyonce didn't perform on purpose. Like, they asked her to and she said no.
Period. Y'all can't afford me. So my quick thoughts, and you already mentioned the Burna Boy. It was pretty much Beyonce getting up there talking about, wow, I've been working since I was 9 years old, And it was literally for the first time. I've seen her as a human in some of her vlogs, but for some reason, I've literally looked at her and I was like, oh my God, she was a 9-year-old little girl. Like, it's that same person that's standing in front of y'all right now. Like, I don't know why that shit just flabbergasted me. I was like, wow, like y'all out here so worried about winning every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even count how many times she took L's and maybe what that did to her. But at the end of the day, she knew why she doing what she doing. It was never really like for the Grammys. It was for the 9-year-old girl that said, hey, Beyonce, we're going to do this. And I was like, wow, we needed to hear that because everybody trying to win. And that's no shade to anybody wanting to achieve a Grammy or any high accolade. But it's like you have to do it for that 9-year-old girl or what have you, whoever's inside you, before you do it for a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to say that's why she won. I remember I was sitting there like,
Beyonce.
Period. And I was like, and then, you know, my daughter Blue. I was like, Mommy.
Hi, Blue.
She an auntie for real. She did it like a
Blue
black
got a Grammy,
auntie.
bitch.
It was just her looking like a human being for the first time in my life ever. I loved it.
No, and I feel like she is really like she's making art that she wants to make.
Right.
And you acknowledge that that's cool, but she's still gonna make art that she wants to make.
Period.
And I personally, that's why I think Beyonce to me is a legend right now. Like she just is making whatever the fuck she wants to make. Like she's that big. She's that powerful. But no, I was sad that I missed these Grammys, but not really.
Period. So speaking of the Grammys being canceled last year and now we're in March. Well, the Black Society canceled it. The Grammys still happened. Is this like the anniversary of COVID? I was like, dang, we really made it because it was looking very bleak last year. And I don't know, speaking for myself, I don't know if this is what I knew it was going to look like or had, you know, like any premonitions of it looking like this. So I don't know, have zero expectations for the future and just expectations for the now.
Period. So, stay present.
What about you? What are you thinking? Like, dang, we really made it.
I feel like with this whole, people kept talking about like the anniversary, and I think I was a lot like you. I was like, oh yeah, we made it, but like it's not like it's not like a an anniversary thing for me. It was like this thing that happened, this awful thing that happened, but like how did we come, like, you know, like what did I learn from this thing, rather than like, oh my God, it's been a year. Like my little sister was like, I haven't been to school in a year, and I'm like, oh damn, like when you say it like that, it's like, shit. But like, or I was working from home for damn near a year, I'm like, oh shit. But like when I was in it, I was just in it and just trying to like find ways to get through it. But like when the time came around, I was just like, oh shit, it's been a year. If anything, it was like, damn, time flies.
Yeah. I don't know. It's difficult to even like think about, like compare the two perspectives you have while you're still in it. So I think everyone's just pointing it out to be like, this is how much time has passed for a really big deal of something, and we still don't know anything.
It was like a marker. It's like a marker.
Exactly. It's a marker that nobody knows what to do with yet.
And I mean, I feel like with this vaccine and like things appearing to go back to somewhat of a difference, because I don't know what normal is anymore. I don't want to use normal, but I don't know. I just feel like, okay, where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we do from here? Because that panoramic was nuts.
It was crazy.
It was nuts, and it was unexpected. If anything, it was like, expect the unexpected, bitch.
Yeah.
Period. That's it.
Well, I know for certain, like, it gave us time to think about so much, go on spiritual journeys. I don't know, what have you. I mean, I think we did just about everything besides go vegan. So with that being said, I know I thought about so many concepts, like everything, Christianity, spirituality, meditation, crystals, not doing crystals. So what are we here for? What makes somebody human? Cells, matter, space. whoa, are we in a simulation? Questions that need answers. Asterisk. This is why God is all knowing. Because the more information I found out, the crazier I got.
No, that's
I had to cut it off at some point. But one of the things that I've revisited were just concepts in society that like we stand by. And one of those is loyalty. And I just so happened to come across a clip from Enjoy the Podcast. And you can find it on all streaming platforms, and it's episode 6. So go check that out if you want some context from where we got this inspiration from. And so they were defining loyalty, and they were going back and forth, and their definitions were pretty much at war, but dancing with each other at the same time. And I realized that we're all serving concepts that we don't even share the same definition to. One, but I think at basis as a society, we can agree that loyalty is like you have to agree and swear in on something regardless of the conditions and whether or not they serve you. And I was like, oh my God, with that definition, I am not a loyal person unless things are benefiting me. And perhaps that is the definition I need to subscribe to, because the other one is not going to work.
That's not going to work for me, Namo.
And let's frame this conversation around all aspects. Like, it doesn't only have to be like relationships with your boyfriend or something.
Friendships, everything.
Yeah.
So I've always considered myself a loyal person. Like, that is one of the attributes that I've always like stood proud on. Like, if I care about you or I love you, like you got my loyalty. It's us forever, especially with like my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
In relationships, same thing, same concepts. But I think with like my friends or like my family, it's deeper because like you can't hurt me the same way a man would hurt me. So I'm always like, but as I got older, I feel like what exactly you just said, like if me being loyal to you is detrimental to me, it's not going to work. Right. And by loyalty for me, it's like, I'm not going to do things or go out of my way to hurt you. I'm not going to do things or go out of my way to make you feel inadequate. I'm going to operate in my own lane.
Right.
Meaning, if you want some shit, go be on some shit. But I'm not on that shit. I'm over here. So, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like my definition and how I move with loyalty is different. Like, my loyalty, like I'll use you for an example. My loyalty to you would not be if every time we go out, bitch, you fighting. At some point, I'm gonna be like, Tina, sweets, I can't do this. This is physically harming me. I can't go to jail, all of this stuff. But my loyalty to you would be if I hear 2 people talking shit about you, I'm not going to participate in that. Or if I hear something is happening behind the scenes, behind your back, I'm going to let you know that I'm operating on a like more of a like a I want the best for you type of loyalty. Yeah. That makes sense. But I'm not a ride or die loyalty.
Yeah. So watching that clip or episode, what have you, I was realizing that if we just all became loyal to ourselves, which may come off as selfish, but you got to do it with your chest, I don't think anyone would really have problems. And let me tell you why. If I remain loyal to myself, I know what it looks like and how it's benefited me. So if Grace comes to me and says X, Y, and Z isn't going to work out for me anymore, so these are the lines I'm going to draw, I would not in turn be like, you ain't loyal, like, dang, you ain't holding nobody down, because I know that's what she has to do for her. And if I'm doing what I need to do for myself, nothing should be in conflict because I've already looked out for myself. Like, we're holding people hostage to look out for us and like, you know, think of us in moments at all times, or even if it doesn't serve them. And that literally doesn't make sense. Because for instance, let's say I work at a job or something and I see an open position and I have a friend that needs the role. If that friend is actively looking for jobs for themselves, whether or not I create a bridge here should not concern everyone. Granted that all the other structures of the relationship are intact, right? We're merely just talking about this one thing. Because for whatever reason, let's say I dictate that it's not going to work out well for me if if I create this bridge. That's my thinking. Now, if nobody's looking out for themselves, yeah, it's going to look fucked up.
That's true. Like, please don't expect others to look out for you if you're not going to look out for yourself. Like, you're gonna cause yourself a lot of harm and like,
right. And you open up an opportunity to be like, hey, you think you can give me a job there? You open up an opportunity for a person to answer you honestly and be like, yeah, man, I know you've been looking out, but I'm so sorry. I don't think like I can finesse this one for you. These are the things I'm dealing with, and this is how I'm looking at it. And I don't think it will fare off with me. You give somebody opportunity to answer you honestly, and for you to receive that and be like, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know. It's when we come with these preconceived notions that other people have to look out for us, when I think we should be worried about accountability and dependability
on yourself.
Right.
First.
Can you hold people accountable? Like, I can depend on Grace. I don't need Grace to be loyal to me because she has to be loyal to herself. Like, everything is not going to be in alignment, but I can depend on her and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Da, 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 da. And then you do with it what you can. But to be like, you ain't loyal, you don't do this, is very, I was like, dang, I've really been, like you said, I've been out here being like, yeah, I need loyal people. I don't want to hold y'all hostage no more.
I think like especially in the Black community, like loyalty is such a huge thing because there's this whole like idea about like protecting each other. Yeah. And like, because we've lacked protection, we still lack protection. So there's this whole thing of like, we need to protect each other so we don't have to rely on somebody outside of us to protect us, which is fine, makes sense. But it's in 2021, it's turned into this whole thing where women feel like they have to be loyal to men that never showed them an ounce of respect, or frenemies. The whole idea of, this girl has talked shit about you since the 3rd grade. Why are you still loyal to her? Like, what part of that even makes sense? Make it make sense. But I do believe in this, like I just said, the example that I just used, like, if I care about you and I love you and I want the best for you, honestly, I'm not going to bring Tina bullshit. Like, if this is from, girl that is just around, just donkey shit, I'm like, girl, they're going to talk about you, and we'll laugh at it. But if I feel like this is somebody that I know Tina cares about and has expressed to me that this is her friend of that nature, then I'm gonna be like, oh, this is not good. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I can't do that with everybody, because not everybody is going to take the necessary steps to make those adjustments for them. Right. Now, if I feel like you can't make those adjustments, which I'm not saying anything. Yeah. It's crazy.
I know. I also, in this conversation, I revisited like my family. So I'm trying to position myself as a content creator, right? And my journey has been very slowed down due to my own issues, and some of them trying to be concerned with how I'm showing up to family members or people that knew me when I was a kid, because I'm trying to be loyal to them. And maybe I can't talk about X, Y, and Z because I have to be loyal to specific stories or whatever. And I'm like, if it's not serving me to like hold on to these things, then I have to be loyal to my own self. Like, you got to think about it. Like, someday something is gonna, like, you're gonna die, and you have to. You're gonna be deceased. You can't leave with an energy of holding people hostage about things you chose to uphold. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you have to do, if you're gonna live like this, you have to do it with your chest, because it's not gonna be like flowers. You're gonna have to answer to these things. But I feel very passionate that on the other side is freedom and liberation to live an honest life. Because you're looking out for yourself, which, like you said, it's then going to generate energy and like laws of attraction to people that don't charge you for doing that,
for looking out for yourself,
period.
I'm trying to think, when you're saying that, I was trying to think of a situation where that could be like detrimental, but it's really not. It's really quite simple. Like,
it's detrimental because the people are perceiving it with like the limited scope.
Yeah. And what exactly am I being disloyal to the idea that you have of me?
Exactly. You're having, I don't even know. It's like,
that's so true though. That's so true. Like, especially if whether you're in a close-knit family or a big family or a foreign family, it's easier to put people in a box because it's just easier. There's too many fucking people. Like, this is that person, this is that person, this is that person. That's it. It's very easy for your parents to do that as well.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But it's like, yeah, I do think that if you're going to choose a route of being loyal to yourself first, which we personally think is the way to go, you do have to be ready for the backlash, or be ready for losing a lot of people, or be ready for losing those friendships that you thought were going to last forever, or that man that you thought you was going to have forever. Like, if you ready for that, there's freedom on the other side, sis. There's freedom on the other side, period.
Yeah. So that COVID really just had me out here just thinking, and I'm still thinking about this concept, because it wasn't until this conversation that I realized I need to reframe my mind and how I'm valuing this thing called loyalty.
And I think Black men put a lot more emphasis on it with each other and in their relationships. Like, Black men have a huge emphasis on loyalty. They don't fucking play about loyalty. And again, it's probably systematic and shit, the oppression and everything that we've been through. But like, no, Black men don't play when it comes to that shit.
Yeah. And I think in general, what we're trying to say is you can create boundaries with people, but you cannot hold people hostage to your loyalty. Meaning, if they didn't move in favor of how you value it, you need to just reconcile with that and move on. Like, but this whole thing creating like strict beef.
Right.
You know?
Like saucy beef too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, there's so much other things we got beef with about. Like, that one is actually a you thing.
Yeah.
You woke up and you decided that somebody needed to, and I realized that, like, when relationships are over, you're like, I held you down, I was loyal to you, and the other person was and you was only looking out for yourself. And I'm like, oh, that's the difference between men and women sometimes.
Yes.
We be looking out for them and mad they don't do it for us. And they looking crazy like nobody asked you to.
Nobody asked you to. But had you been looking out for yourself the entire time,
you would have known
the world would have told you, yeah, like, oh, I don't like this. I think we need to break up. But that, I do know that Black men like have a huge emphasis on loyalty, for sure, and holding them down. And oof, baby, I'm trying to hold me down.
Period. So guys, we just ask that, you take this time and think about things that, that you're serving or staying loyal to, staying loyal to, that no longer serve you.
Yes. It's dead.
Because that's the key here. We're not throwing the whole concept in the trash. It's reimagining it and how it can benefit us.
Perspective.
And on to the next. This is Press Play, our segment where we share songs that we like or that we just want y'all to hear about, or that the song you just keep playing over and over and over and over again. So, and you can find these on our Spotify Press Play playlist called Press Play, and it's also on our Instagram highlights. Lady Grace K, what's your Press Play?
So we decided to do 5 songs because we've been gone for so long.
Yeah.
Typically we'll only do one. So I just picked like 5 songs that, like, when I sat down and thought about it, like, that I was playing over and over again. So the first one is Girl Like Me by Jasmine Sullivan. And it's her whole project for me. Her whole project was on repeat for me because I feel like, first of all, this Girl Like Me song, younger me can relate, new me cannot. But it's a fire song. Definitely check it out. She's speaking to the soul. The second one is on the Sauti Soul album, and it's the intro song. It's literally called Intro.
It's a good album.
It's so good.
It makes me cry, honestly.
It's just, I don't know. Sauti Soul is very much giving me like boy band, African boy band, soul. I don't know. They just do it for me. That intro song reminds me of Rhonda. I was introduced to this song in Rhonda, and when I heard it, I was like, I love it here. Third one is Damages by Thames. Yeah. Yeah. Tim's be having me lit. I be like,
But, hey, y'all sure y'all not going out no more?
Tim's is lit. I love her so much. So that song Damages is heat. I would be lying to you if I didn't put 456 by Coyote on this press play. She be my only queen. Y'all know we love that song. Period. I kept, after Tina showed me that song, this was months ago. Yeah. I just kept playing it. Y'all saw it on our trailer on our IG. I love that song so much. Don't know why. It just resonates with me. And then the last one is Ready or Not by the Fugees. Listen, and that shit is a throwback, but I've been bumping that shit lately. There's a part where Lauryn Hill is like, frontin' niggas give me the heebie-jeebies.
Wait a minute.
Frontin' niggas give me the heebie-jeebies.
Scary.
I was like, ooh,
y'all, like, scary.
It's very scary. Lauryn Hill, when I listen to her shit now as a 26-year-old woman, I said, bitch, what?
Period.
Front niggas give me the heebie-jeebies as well. So that whole album is a vibe, and that song is a vibe. So those are my press plays, y'all.
All right, y'all. So AG Baby, Adekunle Gold. Baby. Now, I was listening to that in December after, like, it was 2 months. I ain't been going out no more. And I said, dang, this remind me of the streets. Like, when I miss the streets, I play that right there. Like, I just feel the vibe. Got to be in the section. Sweat. You know what I'm saying? When that makeup in, and the bottle girl getting the drinks ready. It's like the eve before the night just goes all the way up. I love that shit. Whenever I want to feel the vibes, I just put some headphones on. I be vibing something crazy. Then I went in on Lil Baby because I was like, we got to get serious about our shit. You've been comfortable. Lil Baby makes me feel like I'm in the motherfucking trenches, been selling dope, and I got to find another way for my family. Deadass, I be imagining that I have a child sometimes, and I get my ass up. So it's us single people just be like, I'm so tired. Imagine you come home from work, somebody looking at you like, what's up? Where do that?
Where we gonna eat it?
You be pushing. Mm-hmm. Lil Baby do that for me. Everybody, what? I'm flying everybody. It's a manifestation. Okay, it's a manifestation, and then forth you act as such.
Period.
I don't care what you got on. I don't care.
Music for everybody.
And the bigger picture, I agree with everything he said, because there's beef everywhere. You get lost in that shit. Whew, go crazy. You gotta look at the bigger picture. I be at work. It's the bigger picture, bitch.
No, Lil Baby definitely makes you want to hustle and get that.
Hey, and then Jolie Beben, that's by Naza, Naza, a French rap artist. Love this song. It's also reminds me of the streets. It's a vibe. It reminds me also like when I used to study abroad in France. Very nostalgic. Love it. I think you guys will like it too, even though you don't speak French, you don't understand. It's just one of those things where it's given. I'm about to, find somebody to dance with tonight, and they might ask me for my number. Sometimes you don't gotta live the life. You just gotta put the vibes on and then have the moment and move on. Period. Lastly, Time by Snow Allegra.
Haven't heard this.
Guys, literally this song healed me. Okay. It's January, top of the year, and I'm looking at all 12 months like, what the fuck? Where do we start? And I play this. I literally was in my room doing whole ass karaoke with it. And she basically says, I wish time never mattered. Oof. And she sings it from her soul. And it's basically saying, I wish time never mattered, because then all the times that I didn't appreciate things and took it for granted, I wouldn't be regretting them. Which means in real life, we regret things because we took the time for granted. And that's with my whole movement right now. Just living in the moment. If you live in the moment, no regrets.
No regrets.
Period. Because you was present. You was there. Imagine you sitting here and you thinking about tomorrow.
No, being present is everybody that is mentally elevated recommends being present is the number one thing to happiness and peace.
Period. That's why even now I'm gonna enjoy this time, because when genuine vibes blow up, I'm gonna be talking about, I wish I had a day off. And when you had a day off, what did you do with it? You wished for work.
Facts. Facts.
So
facts. Or you wish for some shit to be popping off with your creativity. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? DMs talking about 150. My joints is empty now. Love it.
I love it here.
You know
Very
what I'm saying?
peaceful. It's a vibe. That's funny. Not
Everything,
bitch. Ooh,
everything in its own time.
That's a fact. I'm gonna need an assistant for that.
Okay.
At that point, my Instagram account is gonna say this Instagram is ran by. It's not ran by me. I don't run this shit. I don't see the DMs. I don't post my own pictures.
I got
my little cousin is
phones.
One for the plug and one for the host. Period. This is not mine anymore. Hell
you got both of Grace's numbers. I only got one of them.
Yeah, because the other number is not ran by Grace.
Okay. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed our press play selections. You can find them on the playlist once again. And it is listen to it on shuffle. Not in order.
Not in order. Never
mumble jumble. Okay.
It's gonna pop up.
Okay. And let us know what you think about these new songs that we just introduced y'all to. Some of them are new. Yeah. With that being said, it is time to get on the mother boat. It is ships.
Sailing ships.
Sailing ships.
Oh, God.
Ships, sailing ships for short. It's our segment where we talk about relationships. And we all just get on this boat together and travel and discuss.
Figure it out.
And figure it out together. Today, I have questions. And they're framed around Mr. Kevin Samuels. Most of y'all may have heard of him from Instagram. Mm-hmm. Women call him in and ask for advice. Mm-hmm. That's another thing. Another day. And, he's very toxic. His advice is very toxic. And I honestly don't consume his content. So I want to preface that. This isn't something that I just have on my headphones. It's just, a topic of the times.
Right.
Women are calling him in to ask for advice. And I understand why, because a lot of times women, we just want to be a part of the conversation. A lot of times we just want to converse with you. It may come off as attack, but I feel like that's because you're sensitive. We're genuinely just like, hey, you don't text me back. Why do y'all do that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whereas in reverse, I feel as if though men join the conversation to critique us. Okay. Mm-hmm. You are not coming here to contribute to growth or anything. You came here to pick us apart. And I feel like that's a lot of what he does when these women come to ask for advice. So I just kind of want to rant and go off. I'm not going to try and solve this problem because Adam and Eve is a real thing. So take that with God. But I just want to know why men are just so obsessed with critiquing us, and it's not necessary because we're, as far as the totem pole goes, we're at the bottom. We're oppressed. So why are you going to critique the people that you're oppressing when the oppressed are like, hey, can you just please stop marginalizing me and doing X, Y, and Z? Yeah. And it's so embarrassing to watch some of these videos of him just talking down on some women, which like I said, they call him. So can't really drag him too much on his platform. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just like, there's just this new obsession, especially with Black women, just critiquing how we date and what we're doing the fuck wrong. And the advice that's given every time is I don't even know if it's even helpful, the things they're telling us to do. What's this about?
So, oh God. So many things. So I was introduced to Kevin Samuels. Some young woman came on there. Black woman in her 30s making 6 figures, and they were going back and forth. What I will preface and tell you guys is when Tina's saying he's toxic, Kevin Samuels does not have a conversation with these women. He is the type of man that is seems like he knows his statistics and will continue to throw his statistics at you. So it's like me, you see how me and Tina are having a conversation. it'll be like, well, Tina, what percentage of men cheat? Well, this is 77.6, but like, it's like he knows all of this information. Right. So he's just constantly spewing this information, which made me question, why do you even have callers call in? Because there's no conversations, nor are like there's no, like all I'm hearing is you.
Right.
So what is the point of the caller? I don't know. So that's that. So there was a point where this woman was talking about she makes 6 figures, she wants a 6-figure guy, blah, blah, blah. And he's talking about one of the things men look for are attraction, and how a 6-figure man is not going to date a woman of a particular age when he can go get somebody that's younger and more attractive. And he asked this woman to rate herself.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes. And she gave herself a low number, which is a whole other thing in itself. And then I think he said like she was like a 6 or something. He said, I think you're a 6 at best. He said that a number and then said at best. So this is how I was introduced to this man. And then we're obviously about to talk about this.
That's how he blew up. That's the video that he blew up.
That's the video of how he blew up.
Forgot to reference that.
Yeah. So when it comes to men critiquing, in particular, Black women, my first thought is, when were you ever a woman? Like, which life? Like, when did you ever experience womanhood? Mm-hmm. Womanhood is a lot more, guys, in case the men are listening, it's a lot more than femininity.
Right.
We go through so much shit a month biologically that you guys will never fucking understand. Bitch, do you know our hormones are at a normal rate if you have a normal period 2 weeks out of the month?
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, my hormones are out of whack for 30 days, bitch.
Do you know who you are?
You know what I'm saying? I'm joking about that, but it's like, I think that Black women are so critiqued because it's easy to critique us.
That's true.
It's just easier. Like, you're not going to go critique. One thing that he said was Black women aren't feminine.
Oh my gosh.
And this, I'm gonna let you get.
I'm sitting here in shock because I've only, like I said, I don't consume it all. I only see whatever's trending.
I'm talking about this clip that I'm gonna let you like open up, and then we could talk about it, because I don't consume his content either. I just saw that clip, and so I'm gonna let you.
But I know what you're talking about. I just can't quote everything he said.
He asked the girl to call in, like, what percentage of Black women do you think are feminine? And I think she said like 60-70% or something. And he was like, hell no. So some of the things that men want in a woman is femininity, the ability. What else did he say? The ability to, he didn't use the word compromise, but basically the ability to I'll say compromise or whatever. So he's just asking her these percentages that this woman clearly doesn't know. She's calling in to have a conversation or ask questions, and he's very abrasive and aggressive.
Right.
Extremely abrasive and aggressive, which leads me to my next point. Women, stop calling this nigga.
Period.
Stop calling this man. That is not. I'll use myself as an example. Mm-hmm. I have an uncle that is like my homie, right? Because he obviously he's my uncle. He loves and cares about me. He gives me very much real advice. Mm-hmm. My uncle will not sugarcoat shit with me, but it does not come from a place of making me feel like shit. It does not come from a place of making me feel less than. It's more of, you got a question, I'm going to answer it from a male perspective. Doesn't mean it's right, sis.
Right.
It's from a perspective. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it almost made me sad, like watching some of these women take that shit, because
it's condescending.
It's extremely condescending. It's hurtful. And it's like, nigga, first of all, you don't care about us. Yeah. Because how are you, a whole ass Black man, talking to Black women that way?
And then now that you mentioned it, so during the COVID break, I realized that I've been operating in my masculine energy. I've actually not even been very feminine at all, quite frankly. Explains a lot of the things that I probably internally was beefing with. Mm-hmm. Mind you, to preface, life is about balance. And oftentimes in relationship, you're going to skew left or right depending on the two people that are participating in the relationship. So when he says Black women are feminine, I would imagine and I would hope with education that he's referencing from, being in a masculine energy of like, nigga, you gonna take me here at this time and you got to do this and this and that. And the only reason why somebody would do that would be to overcompensate for the lack thereof. Yeah. So why aren't you taking that into account? Like this energy you're speaking with, you should be taking it to the men to talk about how to build their masculinity so that in society, we don't have to show up with that. I can just show up as a woman and I understand that you're going to do your part. Like we talked about it, Grace. Why am I looking for the hotel? Why am I looking for the flight times? That's not a masculine thing to do. A woman, the way or feminine energy, sorry.
No, that makes the way I pick, number one, you're absolutely right. Talk to your own species. Talk to your own species. And my species will talk amongst ourselves as well. Period. That's number one. Okay. Number two, I feel like this man, guys, I feel like you guys have to just like watch the clip. And I feel like when it comes to watching, be very careful about the content that you consume from men when it comes to what women need to do to be in a relationship. Be very, 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 very careful. And that's something I had to tell myself a long time ago, because, when you're younger, you just want to figure out what are guys thinking? Like how, and like none of that shit you need to take into account. First of all, do your own fucking healing. There should be no reason why you as yourself, as a woman, as a Black woman in particular, if you say you love yourself, if you say that you are of high value, that you would even allow somebody to tell you the type of things that this man tells these women. Right. Like, it's just impossible. Number two, it's like, what is the end goal? We will never be perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. What is the end goal for, I want to ask like the men that give women relationship advice, like what is the end goal? Is it to form us into the type of women that y'all want us to be? Or is it to actually start a conversation and say, this is what everybody needs to do in order to get married, if that's what you aspire to do?
That makes sense. I think our conversations need to be framed up like, this is how this specific gender is showing up. Oh, okay. This is how you guys are showing up. And this is how it's being perceived. And like talk about, the interactions that are taking place and not coming from a place of, so y'all ask niggas to pay for shit because y'all don't have money. That is a statement and not a question. Talk about your experience and create a question behind it. I know that for myself, right? Because I don't want to go around and say niggas be lying. I don't want to do that to myself either. Yeah. I would like to say, with this specific situation, this was my experience. Why does this happen?
In your opinion.
Exactly. Yeah. And have a conversation about that. But once again, like I said, we are the marginalized group. So we need the people that are marginalizing us to partake in these discussions with some decorum. I can do all the work I can, but at some point we are interacting with you, and it cannot be coming off as like, hey, let's talk about how Black women like to get their nails done but don't have investments. Like, get the fuck off of me. Get off of me.
How about you send me a list of things I should invest in?
You know what I'm saying?
It's just not productive. It's not productive, because the reality of the situation is you're dealing with modern women just like we're dealing with modern men. A lot of these modern men don't even want to set up a date.
Period.
A lot of modern women are getting their own fucking bread. It's not the same as 1956.
Right.
You cannot compare a time that is already gone. If you're not going to move with the times is going to leave you. The hell? You know what I'm saying? So, and I should reference that, like, when I have these conversations with my uncle, it's very much like Tina said, like, oh, this happened to me. Like, why do you think that is? You know what I'm saying? It's not this nigga said in that video. This nigga said in that video that you sent me, like, Black women are obese.
Oh my God.
Men are attracted. Men want a woman that is fit. Fair. Black men are also obese.
Somebody cooking the food and eating it. Okay. So
white men are obese. White women are obese. Obesity is a thing. But I just don't like feeling, I don't feel targeted by this nigga. He's not talking to me.
Right.
But I think where my passion is coming from is like, why women don't.
Right. He's putting an energy in the room.
Like there's so many other people out there on YouTube and on Instagram that will give you advice that is not detrimental to you, how you feel about your fucking self. Dog, like the fuck? You weren't a part of this panoramic. You didn't gain 10 pounds. You didn't gain 13 pounds. What I will say is I do believe in what we were talking about earlier. If you want something as a woman, if you're actively looking for a man and you're actively watching these videos, then I feel like you should be putting out what you want. Same thing we were talking about earlier. If this is what you're actively trying to do, I can't relate because like I'm not actively working on looking for a husband, but I do realize there are like women that are older or hell, even my age, actively looking for a husband. But whatever you want, just put out. If you want a guy that is athletic, sis, you got to start going to the gym. If you want a 6-figure nigga, that's your type, baby, you got to go take some extra courses to figure out how you go get that 8 figures. You want them a homeowner, own a home. You want somebody, you know what I'm saying? But watching this video, I feel like I don't want to completely shit on Kevin Samuels because his content is working for people that want to be that want to be a part of society so bad.
Well, that's not only that, he's also just a representation of society in itself. Like a lot of people are agreeing with him in the comments. This is not necessarily an unpopular opinion. There are masses in the comments like, dang, we've been missing this information for a while now. So this is a society we live in.
Facts. So if you do want to peep his videos.
He did coin the phrase a high value man. And it's been used in conversation now ever since then, right? And he's defined it with core 6 principles, and they're withheld with it's determined by the market, so the population. And so one of them is money. You have to make at least 10K figures a month with Atlanta figures. So if you're in New York, you know the cost of living there, up that number. Performance, you have to make this amount of money consistently for over 5 years. Group acceptance, a lot of people, they fuck with you, you're known. And your network, same thing. Visibility, you're known as well. 3 of these kind of just sound like the same thing. And utility, meaning you're resourceful. Like somebody can hit you up and be like, hey, do you know X, Y, and Z? And they're like, yeah, I can get you through the door. This is how he defines that. Cool, right? And apparently this is the man that we want. And I'm like, you're not reading the room. Granted that these women are calling and asking, and he's referencing it. I'm just sitting here like, one, being a high value man, this is what you have to meet. But if you want to be a high value woman, my God, I know it ain't 6 principles in that motherfucker. That shit gonna be about 10 lists long. You know what I'm saying? Like even calling yourself a queen now is like, y'all bitches be calling yourself like, it's a manifestation, sir. I'm gonna get there. Like, stop beefing me about it. But we can say anybody's a king as long as they pay their bills and take care of the kids. They can cheat. They can do whatever they want. I'm like, you're not reading the room, dude. At this point in my life, to me, a high value man is a man I can trust. Number 1. We'll figure out the rest motherfucking later.
And I should say, he said that he didn't coin it. Like, it's been around for a minute. He just brought it back to life.
True.
Yeah.
And these are his 6 principles that he defined himself.
Yeah.
So I was just like, because he kept saying a high value man. And I kept saying it too. Like, well, if I want to, and then I'm looking at how he defined it. And I'm like, okay, I mean, this man shows up in my life and I can't trust him it's not going to work. Forget loyalty or whatever we talked about. No, can I trust you
This man
with your
shows up and he's
visibility? Can I trust
verbally
you
abusive
with your network? Can I trust you with everything? Exactly. So I was like, wow, there's a lot of emotional work.
I think that's
needed.
where the disconnect for me is. Like, this is why I can't subscribe, or this is why I think that I don't mind this list. Like, this list is cool. This list seems like a resume to me. This seems like the type of man I want to hire. Right. It seems like the type of man that I want to run my company, or the type of man that I want to go learn how to invest my money. This does not seem like a man I want to marry.
Yeah.
It's really quite simple. If you want to be, that's what I meant by like a society fit or a society mold. Do what he says. If you want, like, do what he says. Like, if you want to be married, and you don't want to be a part of statistics saying Black women are not getting married at an alarming rate, like, do it. You know what I'm saying? Be as feminine as you want, grow your booty, do what you have to do, but understand that none of this comes with self-value. None of this comes with like love. None of this comes with marriage. Bitch, you know how many people are billionaires and still getting a divorce?
That's true.
I can name about 2 couples I saw recently are splitting apart, and they are millionaires, billionaires. So I feel like this list is valuable. It's just not valuable to me when it comes to sustaining a relationship. And that's what he's talking about.
Right.
You know? Like, yeah. This list. No. This nigga can definitely run my enterprise though.
Yeah. So that's not what we interview him for. So it's like what I mentioned. Like, when it comes to women, our list is just like he said, we're obese. So now nowhere in there did they talk about this man's 6-pack. He can literally look like anything. Like, my thing is this: let's keep that same energy. Give me that same requirement, but you won't exactly.
I bet you won't.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just, for me, it's just, it doesn't, like, if you want a sustainable relationship, I don't think these are I think these are like great add-ons. Don't get me wrong. If I marry a guy that's making 6 figures, that's fucking fantastic. Right. Yay for me. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take your verbal abuse. That does not mean I'm going to take your physical abuse. That does not mean I'm going to take you being unfaithful. That does not mean I'm going to be taking you being what's the word that you use? Untrustworthy. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So what I feel like everybody, especially women that are seeking his advice in particular, what do you value? What do you want? Become that, and it will come right back to you.
For sure.
Kevin Samuels is a trip.
My hope is that just everyone just really love on themselves at this rate, because we're going to get critiqued moving forward.
Regardless.
It's not going to stop. But yeah, my hope is that I can align myself in conversations with men. And I even try to do that on the Cause the Queens page. Like, I try, even if I don't like something or a concept, I'm going to try and say why. Like, let's talk about this. Yeah. Even if you answer me in a Kevin Samuels way, you're just showing up with what you know. And I doubt you and I are dating. So it's a conversation.
We can't even converse if you're going to talk to me like that. Because at that point, it's just like, we're not.
Well, when I say showing up that way, I mean answering a concept the way he would.
And I understand, like, society really does value marriage, and we've been programmed and taught to aspire for marriage. And I don't think that we're programmed and taught to aspire for like true healing. And I know you guys are so probably tired of me saying that, but like, for real, like, you gonna get married and you still tripping off of some shit that happened to you 10 years ago. How is that going to show up? How is that going to manifest in your marriage?
Right.
When buddy's out here networking, because he got the contacts, and he out here making 10K a month. How is that showing up for you? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't think, maybe, I don't know. That's a whole different conversation. Because I can't even get into that right now.
The only time I ever heard him say something of, you know, decent value was this girl had a baby, was still living with her mom, and she wanted to date, you know, like a high value man, so to speak. And he was asking her like what type of stuff were taken care of in her life. And she was like, no, that's not taken care of. I don't got this together. And he was like, you got your nails done? She was like, yeah. And he was like, something ain't adding up here. But I'm just sad for her that she had to find that out with him, because now
you see what I'm saying?
It was just one more thing that he could use as ammo. I was like, come on, sis, come
get in the ring. And you know what I'm saying? But I think that like women that like, you know, take the time to say, okay, what do I need to work on? What type of woman do I want to be for myself? Are not going to call in.
Right.
And subject themselves to that type of verbal abuse. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like, you're just not going to subject, because first of all, it's hard enough not to talk bad about yourself to yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And maybe seeking out that type of advice is just a reminder that maybe the relationship is not what you should be aspiring for right now.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, let's just I get it. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants to be in love, myself included. I fucking get it. But it's like, to what extent?
Period.
Because me and Tina could have had 2 boyfriends each by now. If not 3. Call it out. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, baby girl, you gotta just, you know what I'm saying? Eat. It's okay. It's okay. Your dude is out there. He's out there. Just get back into yourself. That shit is ham.
Okay. In conclusion, the only way as Black women, I feel, that will survive this constant critique, constant, is just knowing that we're hot shit, because everybody wants to fucking talk about us all the time. They can't get our name out their mouth. They can't. You go on Instagram, they talking about us. You go on TikTok, they talking about us. You go on YouTube, they talking about us. You go on the TV, they talking about us. That's how we gonna deal with it.
Facts. Or just don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we as Black women, we create so much culture. We cultivate so much. And this is the shit y'all want to give in return from Black men. You're a joke. And not all Black men do this. You're a joke if this is who you are. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, in my experience, a lot of men my age or a little bit older don't even think like this. This is like, from my personal experience, I see this and I hear this on social media and on the YouTubes from older men of how Black women should be acting. And the comparison is
in our scope, sometimes we'll say an experience and then our guy friends will be like, well, y'all be talking to the wrong niggas. It's like, once again, it was our fault. Okay. It's like, wow.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean.
I was a lame ass nigga.
And for the first couple times, I was like, man, I really fucked up. Then after a while, I said, wait a goddamn minute. Wait a minute. I'm not too proud.
That's so true.
To show where I fall short, but the math is not mathing here. Like,
everybody's a lame ass nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Something's not mathing here, but
they do. Our friends do.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a thing that just happens innately, just because of how everything is designed. That's what I'm saying. The only way we're gonna get through it is just through manifestation of, you know, everybody is obsessed with figuring out what is going on with us. They trying to figure it out. Keep my name in your mouth.
I think it's because, I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think it's because there's a percentage of us that really want to be in love and they really want to be like adored, and they can't figure out why they can't find it. It's not the bitches. It's not us that's asking these questions. It really isn't. Like, it's there are women that really do want to be married ASAP, or really want to figure out why that dude didn't like her the way he should have liked her. And then this is, well, you know what? I'm just going to work on myself, and I'm just going to practice, self-healing, self-love. I'm going to, really get in my bag. They're not just having these conversations for no reason. Somebody is investing, is turning that wheel. If all Black women say, you know what? Fuck y'all, we just gonna do us.
Yeah.
This shit wouldn't exist.
Yeah, but I also don't want to not shame, but stray anyone away from asking questions, because I think I will continue to. It's mainly just the sheer fact of the critique and lack of help in that. It's not constructive criticism. Baseline.
Just and as you also careful who you ask.
Yeah. Period.
Be careful who you ask, bro. Ask your brother, ask your daddy, ask someone.
Even then, that shit may not even be.
Let me say, ask somebody that who wants the best for you. Loyalty. That wants the best for you. Plain and simple. And who's not trying to hurt your feelings, but will be honest with you. But what this man is putting out, I'm sorry, it's that shit is ham. How you gonna teach me how to be a woman?
Somebody was going in about that on TikTok, but that's for offline.
Yeah, because I can't talk about I'm confused.
That. So let us know what you guys think about this topic. So many angles you can see it from. We'd love to know your thoughts. Wherever you stream podcasts, let us know. We're down to the wire. We're at a close. This is one of our favorite segments.
Yes.
We just share an inspirational word. Yes. It is called Genuine Gems.
Yeah.
Lady Grace K, what's your genuine gem?
Mine is something I've been just telling myself every day. Especially in a time where I'm not really doing the same things I used to do, or like we just talked about, we're not really out as much as we used to do. And mine is just stay down till you come up. By everybody Black. Just stay down until you come up.
Is that an Instagram page?
No, everybody Black is just all of us.
All Black people.
All Black people.
Sure.
I don't know who came up with that, but it's so true. Stay down till you come up. Stay focused. Keep grinding. And when you come up, pop out. Enjoy yourself. Chop life either way, but stay down till you come up. Don't give up on yourself.
That's what's up. Okay, so mine is don't give up on something because of the time it's going to take for it to happen, because the time will pass anyway.
And that's a fact.
Eric Billinger interview on the Terrell Show.
That's a fact.
I paraphrased, but man, when he hit that sermon, honey, everybody was catching the Holy Ghost. I was like, what? Stop playing. The time gonna go anyways, with or without you. So do you want to say I've been doing this for 2 years or I've been doing it for 1? It depends on whether or not you start
or you're doing it. Yep. That is a Fendi.
That joint gave me life.
Catching the ghost.
Because this really could have been our first podcast ever, but it's not, because we started in 2018. And all them years we started, or was it 2019? Can't remember. All them years we started, we've learned so much. So no time was wasted. We may not be where we want to be, but imagine if we started today, then we'd have to learn everything that we just learned. You see what I'm saying? Just start.
I'm glad we did, and we're glad we're back.
I know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this visual. It's just a special treat.
Been gone for so long.
You'll see another one again in the summertime. So get everything you need. Follow us on Instagram. Do what you gotta do.
Follow us individually. We love you guys. I'm so happy to be back.
All right, guys. Without further ado, stay solid
and be genuine. Bye, guys.
Bye.
She go take championship for this one. Guess our queens, winners. Top them, up them. Forever.